Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Refugee to Industrial Regent, Season 2. Well, everybody, I know I said at the end of last episode that this episode was going to be more work on Melitene. You may have noticed this is Byzantium and not Melitene. The thing is, there is some more setup that I have to do before I can do the next episode of Melitene, and it's not quite ready yet. I'm going to need a bit more time to sort that out. In the meantime, I do have some minor projects I could take on around Byzantium, and I might as well go ahead and get them sorted out. The first thing I'm going to do is here, where my dock is, or, well, where my old dock is. It's still there, but, well, with the new dock on the other side of this little peninsula here, this dock really isn't needed anymore. So I'm going to repurpose the area as a, whatchamacallit? Yeah, as a, right, a water pump. Well, yeah, sorry, I was forgetting what it was called. Actually, I think I wanted this, didn't I? Yeah. Alright. Now, unfortunately, let's see, it looks like I'm going to do that, clear out quite a bit of this here. Just to clean that up a little bit. And even then, it's imperfect. Yeah, I've got some rebuilding to do here, obviously. Alright, let me go ahead and get rid of that one block down there. Hey, that was the trick, I guess, to getting that all cleaned up. Hey, well, that works. Alright, well, let's go ahead and change these out so that they're the right type of cobblestone. Now, let me think here. Let me go ahead and clean that out. While I'm at it, might as well go ahead and dig this up so I have a way underneath if I should fall into there again. I didn't want to do that. Yeah, don't ask me what happened there. Anyway, and let's go ahead and clean this up as well. Just to finish things off. Eat another cooked chicken. Alright, I'm going to take this detailed cobblestone brick. I'm going to take this cobblestone and extend that one out temporarily. And I'm going to lay down the pump. Like I said, I'm going to be repurposing this as a water pumping station. In order to do that, I need the pump to pump water. I'm going to need some redstone engines. And then I'm going to use some fluiducts. Alright. And then I want to dig that into Byzantium a little bit. Okay. Maybe not like that. Right, I can use detailed cobblestone bricks. Might as well go ahead and get rid of that for the moment. And miss the jump. There we go. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and replace both of these with this cobblestone. Let's replace that with that cobblestone. Yeah. And then let's extend that this far. Let's see. Go ahead and dig up the tunnel a bit. Let's see. I could probably fill in probably underfill this, couldn't I? Yeah. Alright. So now I can go ahead and do that like so. And now I just need to figure out how I'm going to get out of here. Let's see. There we go. Hey, that works for me. So there's my dirt. With this tree farm, which is going to need to go away at some point in the not too distant future, but not yet. Alright. Now let me go ahead and build the walls up a bit. If I go one like so, then what I can do is go ahead and have that start pumping. And if I did this right, I'm really hoping I did do this right, then I should get water starting to make its way through. Do I need to set that to output? I don't know. I may need to give that a little bit more time to build up, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, okay. And then, of course, the pipe doesn't actually go anywhere, so it's a strictly aesthetic, but I do have a water line that I can now hook up to and get water where I need to, should I elect to do so. Of course, I have the aqueous accumulators, but, you know, who really wants to drink water out of an aqueous accumulator? Anyway, let's go ahead and top this off one more. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this slab, and that means I need to destroy that and that, just to make sure that I can keep track of what's part of this roof and what's part of that old dock structure that needs to be destroyed. Alright, and now it's roofed. Actually, there is, one more thing I should do, and that is to just go ahead and completely close in that tunnel. Alright, and that is our pump station, and yes, it is floating a little bit off the water. That's to make sure that the water can actually get underneath it. Not that that's necessarily going to be a problem, but just want to make sure of that. Alright, now I'll go ahead and demolish the rest of this dock structure off camera, and then I shall return with my next project for this episode. And speaking of the dock, that's actually, a dock expansion is my second project for this episode. Yeah. Believe it or not, it's actually time to expand the dock slightly. Mostly to accommodate the bigger ships that I don't quite yet have the ability to build. I still have to build the dry dock, but that's a project for a later episode. Alright, but at any rate, I think it's time to start the process of building this up. I'm going to start here by digging down a bit, like so, and like so. Excuse me. Alright. So now that we have that, I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of this here. There we go. Now where is that? Okay, it's from there, right? Fair enough. Alright, now I'm actually going to go ahead and take this down to the water line and replace... So, and actually let me check. Did anything fall in the water? It doesn't look like it. Alright. But that's fine. Alright. Now, let me think. I think this is the layer where I want to take this out to 5. And I admit, I don't really have a great way up at this point in time. Well, actually, I could probably build one fairly quickly, couldn't I? Yeah. Like so. I mean, keeping in mind that I've got some underfill to do there. But I don't expect too much difficulty with that. Now, the main idea of this is that I'm going to put pressure plates here and here, and then here and here. And this is basically going to be a little bit of a gateway between the dock and the city of Byzantium itself. Just to provide a bit of spatial definition. Now, I'm not going to do the button type security that I used on the main gate, because frankly the odds of hostile mobs being able to get here is pretty slim. Alright, but with that said, let me think. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want to get rid of those two. Alright, and then I want to put the wires like so underneath. Ooh. Actually, I may have an issue. Yeah, you don't know, this won't work. Not as I have this built right now. The problem is that what I need to do is basically build up pistons, but they have to be here, here, and here. They're going to be very visible there. But I think there might be a solution to the problem. Yeah. In fact, I know there is. Or, excuse me. And excuse me again. Sorry. Anyway. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replace the cobblestone that's there. Go ahead and place down those 3 pistons. Go ahead and delete those. Now, let me think. I want that like so. That. And that like so. Alright. Uh-oh. I did not hit what... Well, okay. It's clay. I accept. I was worried it was something important, or something that would be hard to replace, but nope. Looks like it's just clay. Alright. That said, let me go ahead and fill that in. I can go ahead and get rid of that and that, because those are in the wrong place. Let's go ahead and build that up like so. Alright. Now let's get the wiring underneath it. Underneath this side. There we go. Alright. And it looks like I'm going to have to take this down as well. And since I removed the clay in front of that, let me go ahead and take care of those 2 blocks as well. There we go. Alrighty. How about I go ahead and get this road sorted out then. Okay, that looks good. Alright. Now I can go ahead and place that there. 23. That goes there. Alright, now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and extend this out like so. Now, let me think. So that's the middle, so I want the pistons there, so I actually want to go ahead and lay them down now. Here, here, and here. But not like... That had to fall in the water? Yes, it did. Okay. Yeah, and in the meantime, I'll double check to make sure the ones on the left are oriented the right they are. Okay. Let's get that top one oriented correctly. Now. Alright, like so. And then stone bricks for the top 2. I know I dropped something else in the water, so I need to pick that up. I'm dropping a lot of stuff in the water, aren't I? Alright. Now, here is the key point. And actually, let me go ahead and place these 2 stone bricks as well. Alright. Now, get the lines like so. And I think what I want is to run the lines like so. Yeah. Alright. Now I have the toggle latch. Okay, nice. That actually works. Alright, now the inputs go like that onto those two sides, and then the outputs... no, that's not what I wanted. I'm pretty sure that's not what I wanted. In fact, I can go up and double check, but yeah, that is not what I wanted because... Yeah. And then I step on it again. Alright, so the latch is what I wanted. But that's not the connection to the pistons that I wanted. Well, there may actually be a fairly easy fix for that. I didn't account for this, so I'm not equipped for it. But if I build a NOT gate, now let me look up the recipe while I'm at it. NOT gate. Okay, so I need an anode. And I'll start by putting some stuff up in my from my inventory. Just grab some room. Yeah, that works. That works for now, I think. Alright. Let me think. So I need an anode and effectively 8 plates. Then I need, see how many? Okay, so I need 4 redstone. And I believe 3 sticks. And before you ask, if you put a plank in the precision sawmill, you will get 6 sticks. Very efficient if you remember to put the planks in the sawmill. I'm not perfect about that. Alright. So let's go ahead and get the cathode into position. Or not the cathode, the anode. Get the 3 cathodes. Et voila. 1 NOT gate. So now I have to make my way underneath the under construction gate here. And I do apologize for the lighting. It is becoming nightfall. Alright. Now, if I did that right, yes, okay, so now both of those are on, which means that the gate should be closed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go step here, and then it opens, and then it closes behind me. Here, it opens, and then I'll back out, and it closes behind me. That is exactly what I want. Alright. Now, I could certainly stand to sleep, but I've got the sleeping bag, which I think is more effective for sleeping. There we go. And now, I could certainly go out through the gate. I still have to finish the road, but I sense that would be an off-camera project. At this point, I think my priority is going to be on building up the dock. Alright? And I believe I want, let's see, the main area of the dock to be 4 wide. 15, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright. And I'll go straight down here. I brought the scuba tank because I figured I may or may not expand the dock out far enough. I honestly think I probably won't at this point. Alright. Now let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then dive straight down. I will dig this out so that I have a consistent, clean support column. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and put some torches on the columns. Yeah. Alright. And now I extend this out 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13, and then dive off, And I need my oxygen here, because this is pretty deep. Alright, so let me go ahead and dig that up a little bit, and place down this support column. And yes, I did have to cut down the tree farm in Byzantium yet again. Alright, let's go and put torches there and there. 2, 3, 4. And there we go. So now it's back down, and this is even deeper than that first pile. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and dig this down as far as we dare to. Yeah, I'll dig it down past all the ores. And there we go. So here are the main piles for the Byzantium dock extension. Now, of course, further extensions are likely in future stages. There we go. Alright. So now I just want to go ahead and fill this in. There we go. There we go. Et voila. Alright. And I'm going to take this out 3. This does, nah, I'm not going to bother with the support column there. Doesn't really make sense. Alright. Well, that said, I can probably finish up the dock like this. There will be some cleanup to do off camera. I could finish off the dock at the moment, but there's one other thing I should probably try to do. I think I've got the parts for that in the big brown backpack. Yep. Wool, ink sac, and oak wood. And I'm going to be using some stuff from the Archimedes ships mod. I'm going to start by combining wool and oak wood to make floaters from Archimedes ships. These floaters are typically used on seafaring vessels to make them lighter, to make them float higher in the water. But here, I'm going to combine them with ink sacs, and that's going to give me shore buffers. And the advantage of a shore buffer is that a shore buffer will never be considered part of a ship. So you could park right next to a shore buffer and get a reasonable assurance that when you recompile the ship, you won't take the dock with you. That's useful, especially when the dock is attached to a city, like this one is. Alright, that's 40. Now, I'm going to go up, I think about 8 this way on this dock over here. Just because the front of the boats that come up to this dock here could run up against it. Now, admittedly, that through column might be an issue. I mean, this is really only for smaller boats that are less than 12 blocks long. Longer boats would probably have to use this side over here. Alright. Yeah, now that I've got the technical components of this dock sorted out, I just need to finish it up. Finish up the road, beautify that. Looks like I will have time for one more project this episode, so I shall return with the last project for this episode. 9 episodes ago, I built a bee area here in Petrola. Since that time, I've been working on getting my bees built up. The last time you saw these bees, I had mostly meadows and forest bees. I now have an apiary full of common bees. Actually, 2 full of common bees, 3 with cultivated, 2 with industrious bees, 1 with ancient bees. I have to admit, I'm not quite sure how I got the ancient line, and I'm even less sure what I'm going to do with it. Of course, that means that the answer is, for this stage, nothing except building up drones. I have this Imperial line, which I only recently managed to stabilize. And by stabilize, I mean get to the point where when the queen dies, it produces 2 drones of the exact same type, so that I can just stack them up here. like I have with all these others. This line was stabilized recently. This line actually is not yet stabilized. I'm still working on stabilizing it. Now, you may have noticed these item ducts, and the operation is actually pretty simple. You have the extractor coming out of the apiary. That pulls the bees and the items out of the apiary. Bees will go up here and into the apiary if they'll fit. If they won't fit, and items will also take this route, they'll go down here. Items will also go down here, like I said. You have this dense item duct, and then it goes down to that line, which runs underneath everything and comes out here. The bees end up in these two apiarist chests, and then the items will go into these barrels, all of which have storage upgrades, so they can store 256 stacks of items. As you can see, I've got close to 50 stacks of honeycombs, and I've actually been processing quite a few of those, so I think I've realistically harvested closer to 60, maybe even as many as 65 stacks. The stringy combs and the pollen below it are the products of the industrious bees. I've got about just shy of 6 stacks of pollen, and for my next bee the next bee project, that's this one, I need about 6.5 stacks of the pollen, and I think 6.5 stacks of the royal jelly as well. The dripping combs and the royal jelly are the products of the imperial bees. The main reason I have less of those is, like I said, they're late in stabilizing, and in fact, only one of the 2 imperial lines is actually stabilized at this point. The ancient bees only produce old combs, and since they only have the one line, that's why I have so few of those. The honeycombs, I have 5 lines producing, so I'm not going to be running out of honeycombs anytime too soon. Now, the other big change in here is that I've actually gone ahead and added a second centrifuge, because I need to process a lot of these honeycombs, because I need a lot of these honey drops for the next project. Speaking of which, I've got some setup work to do, and I want to make sure I get things sorted out. So, here is the plan. I'm going to go ahead and put squeezers here and here. Alright, now I have fluid ducts, which will go that way. Alright, and I'll go ahead and put a lever between those so that the liquid ducts are in those fluid ducts are in auto extract mode. Now I've made some tanks from open blocks. I'm going to go ahead and put them up above here, like so, 12 on each. And the reason for this is because I need 2 separate liquids. Alright? And I'm actually going to go ahead and show you what those 2 separate liquids are. Let me go ahead and put that up there. I'm going to go ahead and take seeds in one, and I'm going to put them in this squeezer here on the left. And keep in mind that we have full power coming through the line, so the squeezer will run at full capacity and it will produce seed oil. Hopefully quite a bit of seed oil. Alright, and then on this squeezer on the right, I'm going to take the honey, and it's going to produce liquid honey. Alright, so we've got a tank up here that's filling with seed oil. It's going to take some time, I think. And then this tank here on the right is going to be filling up with honey. In case you're wondering where I got the seeds from, well, it's the excess seeds from that wheat farm I built in Petrola to serve the cow farm 2 episodes ago? 2, maybe 3 episodes ago? I forget when exactly. Alright, but anyway, now that I've got the squeezers to tanks set up, the next thing I want to do is set up these next 2 item ducts, and they're going to feed into carpenters. Now, because I don't have a convenient wall that I can use to power this, I'm going to go ahead and install pneumatic servos, and I'm going to tell it to ignore, both these are set to ignore redstone, I think. Yes, okay, there we go. And now you can see that the liquid is being poured out, and we're getting honey into this carpenter, and we're getting a very little bit of seed oil in this carpenter. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler of next episode. What I'm setting up is what's needed to make an alveary. Now for alvearies I need impregnated casings, which are oak wood in seed oil. And I also need the scented paneling. The scented paneling requires honey, it requires royal jelly, it requires pollen, it requires beeswax, and it requires wood. The royal jelly and the pollen are the hardest things to get. Each of these requires 8 scented panelings, and I need 27 alveary blocks to actually make an alveary. Yeah, that's 216 royal jelly and 216 pollen, and by the looks of it, 108 buckets of honey per alveary. And I'm hoping that over the next few days IRL, I'll obtain enough resources to be able to make 2 alvearies. I think time is going to be a concern more than anything else, honestly. And admittedly, time is the main reason why I didn't make an alveary this episode. There simply wasn't enough time to stabilize the Imperial line and get the dripping combs and royal jelly sorted out. But at any rate, in anticipation of next episode's bee operations, I'm going to go ahead and call it a good stopping point. I will see you next time, everybody.